Have you ever watched one of those 5 a.m. millionaire routines and thought, if I just wake up earlier, I'll finally get my life together? Only to hit snooze 5 times, roll out of bed at 8:12 a.m., and feel like you've already failed the day before it's even started. Yeah, that was me, for years. But here's the thing. The whole successful people wake up at 5 a.m. thing, it's a lie. And not a small lie. It's the kind of myth that makes people feel guilty, less productive, and, ironically, poorer, because it messes with how you make financial decisions throughout your day. Today, I'm going to break that myth down using data, psychology, and some simple math to show you what actually matters for your finances and productivity. My name is Oliver, and I spend way too much time thinking about wake up and 5 a.m. If you're someone who not an early raiser, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Let's start with what I call the Instagram fallacy, the belief that if you just copy the habits of successful people, you'll magically get their results. You see someone post, I wake at 5 a.m., meditate for 20 minutes, drink bulletproof coffee, read 40 pages, then crush my stock trades. And you think, okay, that's the formula for success. But here's what most people don't realize. Correlation isn't causation. Yes, some high performers wake up early, but there's zero statistical proof that 5 a.m. itself leads to better outcomes. A Harvard Business Review study of over 20,000 professionals found that chronotype, that's your body's natural internal rhythm, explained only about 8% of productivity differences. 8%. That's basically noise. You know what explained the rest? Quality of sleep and consistency. The people who slept enough hours and woke up roughly at the same time each day, whether that was 5 a.m. or 9 a.m., averaged 23% higher output than those constantly shifting schedules. So if you're killing yourself trying to wake up at 5 a.m. while your body's screaming nope, you're not hustling, you're fighting biology. Now, let's dig into the why. Why does this myth refuse to die? It's because of something psychologists call the halo effect, when one impressive trait makes you assume everything else about a person is also impressive. If a billionaire wakes up at 5 a.m., we unconsciously fill in the blanks. They must also be disciplined, wise with money, and full of self-control. So we imitate the symbol of discipline, the 5 a.m. alarm, instead of the substance, their financial systems, decision frameworks, and ability to think long-term. Here's where it gets really interesting. Social media amplifies this bias. These videos aren't showing you the hidden factors that actually drive wealth, things like compound interest discipline, automating savings, or consistent skill leverage. You're watching a highlight reel of routines, not the boring math that leads to freedom. Let's talk numbers. There's a fascinating study from Stanford University that analyzed decision-making performance at different times of day. People who worked during their peak alertness window, which varied by chronotype, made 37% fewer impulsive financial choices. Think about that. If you're a night owl trying to force yourself to do serious money work at 5 a.m., you're probably running on low alertness, which directly affects the brain's prefrontal cortex, the part that handles planning and impulse control. Translation, you'll be way more likely to buy that $800 productivity course you don't need just to feel productive again. Here's why that matters. Let's say an average person spends $50 on impulsive online purchases per week, subscriptions, gadgets, random supplements. That's $2,600 a year. If you took that same money, invested it in a simple index fund earning 7% a year, after 20 years, that's roughly $106,000. $106,000 gone to impulsive spending that poor sleep and bad energy cycles encourage. See how this ties together? Sleep health rebounds decision quality, rebounds long-term wealth. The real cost of bad routine hype isn't missing your 5 a.m. coffee ritual. It's degrading the mental bandwidth you need to make rational financial choices. Let's break this down mathematically for a moment. Imagine two people. Ava wakes at 5 a.m. because she's convinced that's what winners do. Ben wakes at 7:30 a.m. but sleeps 8 solid hours each night. Both work 10-hour days. Ava, sleep-deprived, averages 80% cognitive function across her day. That's like getting 8 hours of effective work out of 10 hours. Ben, well-rested, works at 95% cognitive function. That's 9.5 hours of effective work. Over a 5-day week, that's a difference of 7.5 effective work days. Nearly one whole workday lost simply from a bad sleep schedule. Time isn't the asset, energy is. So while Ava brands about her sunrise yoga posts, Ben quietly compounds higher quality decisions, and that, over time, becomes financial momentum. Because in real life, one solid, cleverly optimized decision about your retirement plan outweighs 100 sleepy, half-effective grind hours. All right, so if 5 a.m. isn't the magic, what actually works? It comes down to three things: regularity, prioritization, and automation. Pick a consistent wake time that matches your natural rhythm. For most adults, it's between 6:30 and 8:30 a.m. Keep it stable, even weekends. That stability helps your brain regulate cortisol, the hormone that wakes you up and affects energy throughout the day. Within your first 90 minutes of being awake, whenever that is, do your highest value task. Not email, not scrolling. Do the thing that moves your finances forward. Budgeting, planning your business pipeline, reviewing investments. Here's what most people don't realize. Cognitive researchers have found that the first 90-minute block of awakened focus produces up to 60% of your total productivity for the day. Use that slot strategically, not theatrically. Look, discipline is overrated. Systems are underrated. If you want to wake up less stressed and make better money choices, automate as many financial behaviors as possible. A few examples: automatic transfer to savings the moment you get paid. Calendar reminders for bill due dates, separate, spend guilt-free accounts. Each automation is one less decision to burn mental fuel on, which means you'll have bandwidth left for actual strategy. That's the stuff real financial freedom is built on. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Oliver, I already wake up early because I have a job or kids. Am I doomed? Of course not. The point isn't to sleep in, it's to sleep right. If 5 a.m. genuinely fits your lifestyle and your sleep health, amazing, keep it. What I'm arguing against is the shame-driven mentality of, if I'm not awake before sunrise, I'll never succeed. Here's what actually changes your outcomes: 7 to 9 hours of consistent sleep, tracking your energy in 2-hour blocks for 1 week to find your real peak time, planning your financial work in those peaks. Simple litmus test. If you're drinking 3 cups of coffee before 10 a.m. just to function, your system's broken, not your willpower. Here's where it gets really interesting. The 5 a.m. club myth sells you identity. It's not about productivity, it's about belonging. You post that early morning gym selfie and you feel like part of the high-performance tribe. That dopamine hit reinforces the behavior, even if it's counterproductive. In psychology, that's known as reward substitution. We chase visible signals of progress instead of the invisible progress itself. Money habits fall into exactly the same trap. We buy things that look like success, the car, the watch, the apartment aesthetic, instead of doing the unsexy, invisible things that cause success: saving, investing, learning. The lies we tell ourselves at 5 a.m. are the same ones we tell ourselves at the checkout button. So the next time you feel guilty for not ticking every box on some influencer's morning checklist, stop and ask, am I chasing validation or results? Stanford research again. They found that willpower functions like a muscle that fatigues with overuse. Every unnecessary decision drains your reserves. That's why routines work, not because of magic hours, but because they reduce the number of choices you have to make. So if your brain's already tired from forcing yourself to wake early, that's one less unit of energy from making financial decisions like comparing mortgage rates or analyzing investment fees. Here's a quick math analogy. Imagine your brain has 100 decision units per day. If you waste 20 units fighting your alarm, 10 choosing what to eat, and 5 debating when to work out, that's 35 units gone before you even touch your finances. But if you start your day rested with simple routines and automation, you preserve 80+ decision units. And that's where the real leverage is. That one clean, rational money decision can literally change your life. Let me show you a real story. A client of mine, we'll call her Maya, used to torture herself with morning guilt. She'd wake up at 5 a.m., scroll motivational posts, but be mentally fried before her 9 a.m. meetings. We ran some data on her productivity over 60 days. Turns out her creative financial planning output, she's in content strategy, peaked between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. So we rebuilt her routine backward from that window. She now wakes at 7:30, sleeps 8 hours, goes on a 15-minute walk before opening a screen, and batches her financial tasks for her noon focus block. Her results? Her energy reports, measured with a wearable, went up 29%.
She automated $250 per month into investments she used to forget. 6 months later, she'd saved $1,500 more than the previous year without working harder. That's the power of routine alignment. Less guilt, more gain. Okay, let's make this practical. Grab your phone notes. 1. Calculate your average wake time this week. Add 15 minutes earlier or later each day until you hit a sustainable rhythm that still lets you rest at least 7 hours. 2. Track your alertness. Quick 1 to 10 rating every 2 hours for 3 days. Notice your natural peak zones. 3. Schedule your money time in that zone. That's when you budget, plan your investments, automate savings, whatever moves your financial needle. 4. Automate one money task today. Could be setting up auto transfer to savings or predefining a fun budget so you stop guilt spending. 5. Audit your evening routine.